let's just say that it was an extreme level of difficulty and an extreme level of self-doubt that one was kind of going through, and one had hit the rock bottom, if there was such a thing. It's an incorrect perception. I would like to respectfully and humbly disagree with this negative bias to television being an industry that has to be looked down upon or frowned upon or has to be undermined. And as you very rightly said, that the numbers are proof. I have a spine because of Sargun. So ये सही बात है कि जब तक ना आप you don't kind of say it out loud for yourself, you're always considered to be a great person, the best person. कि अरे कितना अच्छा इंसान है यार, 6-7 महीने हो गए पेमेंट हुए और अब तक कभी ने कुछ कहा नहीं है, इससे अच्छा आदमी और कौन होगा. वो both me and Nia, we handled that gray area in our relationship with a lot of grace and a lot of professionalism. It never showed on screen that we weren't necessarily talking to each other. I think it was largely to do with how we would approach work. I'm highly rehearsal obsessed, but Nia is a very spontaneous actor, and that works in our favor beautifully.
He's possibly one of the nicest human beings from this industry, and his generosity can be seen on screen and off screen. Also, I want to tell you this, Ravi, that I delivered a TEDx talk earlier this month, and I actually Googled and I was watching your video, and I must tell you that you gave me so much of inspiration and hope, and I felt like I'm a different person by the end of it. So yes, welcoming Ravi Dubey in conversation with me on Bollywood Bubble. Thank you for doing this.
It's an absolute pleasure, Nayan. Always a pleasure talking to you.
So Ravi, I just saw that you completed 16 years in the industry. You came from absolutely nowhere with no backing. Today, where you have reached is something that people aspire to reach and people dream of. How do you see that change? What would you tell that Ravi who was dreaming and didn't know if his dreams would ever come true?
It's been it's been a series of challenges, a series of gratitude-worthy moments, and a series of victories. So it's kind of been a very complete journey for me. It's formed me into the individual I am today. And also the individual I'm in the process of becoming. So I owe everything I am to this industry. Had it not been for this industry, I think I would have been I don't know where I would have been, because I don't think I can be anywhere else or I can fit in anywhere else. I came here to do my engineering, which I finished as well. I did my journalism and mass communication. I may have been, kind of, with you, Neon, kind of, ideating interviews and doing all of that.
We can still do that, by the way.
I would love that. In fact, maybe at some other time, we'll also talk about many people in my faculty you'd be knowing. But coming back to the journey, I seriously do not think I would have been able to fit in anywhere else, let alone kind of being victorious in life. I would have been a lost person had it not been for this industry. So I owe everything, my entire existence, my sense of self, everything to this creative industry.
So were there any moments that time where you battled self-doubt, and how did you do it?
Yes. So that's actually prior to getting into the industry. While I was doing my engineering, that I've actually kind of verbalized this several times before in my life as well, that was a very difficult journey, primarily because I didn't find myself kind of aligning with it or being in the same wavelength as the course or, kind of performing there. So one was always feeling like I mentioned earlier, a misfit there. And that was becoming too much to cope up with. And one thing led to another. And let's just say that it was an extreme level of difficulty and an extreme level of self-doubt that one was kind of going through. And one had hit the rock bottom, if there was such a thing. So it was not so much to do with the reality of the situation. It was a lot to do with my vantage point of the situation, my perception of the situation. So which made me feel that I'm just too powerless to really overcome the situation. And this situation at large is really overwhelming for me. So since I was at the rock bottom, the only way to go was up. उससे नीचे तो जाने के लिए कोई जगह बची ही नहीं थी जहाँ पे मैं था. तो सेल्फ डाउट का कोई विंडो था ही नहीं, because I had battled a lot of self doubt, a lot of conflicting, my own self-image being completely in the pits. So I battled that already. That phase was already over. So now was, I think, bit by bit, climbing up. Everything kind of happened together.
I want to know that, there's also when you do TV and when you try to bridge from one medium to the other, eventually India is a place where the mediums are considered stepping stones, but also looked down upon. There are certain mediums like TV. I always say that if I do an interview with somebody who has done something on TV, it grabs way more attention than a Bollywood actor also, and its numbers are proof. But somehow I just feel that there's a certain the perception, ki TV, the label that people put. Have you ever faced that when you try to make that transition?
Maybe not so much as an individual, but yes, I would be wrong to say that. I think as an individual also I have faced that. It's an incorrect perception. I would like to respectfully and humbly disagree with this negative bias to television being an industry that has to be looked down upon or frowned upon or has to be undermined. And as you very rightly said, that the numbers are proof. And I can go on and on with the examples. I think our conversation will just stretch too much. Everybody from, let's say, people give the example of Mr. Shah Rukh Khan. Of course, he comes from television. The second phase of the legend, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan's journey in 2001. It started from KBC, which is television. Ayushmann was Vidya Balan from Hum Paanch, correct? Television again. Ayushmann Khurrana was a host and anchor, a very successful anchor, and then a very, very successful film actor, again from television. Mrinal Thakur, again from... Sorry?
Sushant, Mrunal, everybody.
So of course, Sushant is the greatest example of venturing successfully from... and now in fact, even in the OTT space now, I just saw Empire. And I think for me, the two people that really, really shine, everybody has done a great job, but two people that really shine in the show are Dino Moria and Drishti. Drishti is again from television. So the moment I think we open our heart and mind to the medium as a whole, the medium begins to, there's a collateral benefit.
I read an interview of yours where you said that, you are okay with people not paying you for 7-8 months. And I also want to add in, Sargun adds that balance and perspective to your life.
She definitely does. She is the one, because of it, I clearly say that I have a spine because of Sargun. So ये सही बात है कि जब तक ना आप you don't kind of say it out loud for yourself, you're always considered to be a great person, the best person. कि अरे कितना अच्छा इंसान है यार, 6-7 महीने हो गए पेमेंट हुए और अब तक कभी ने कुछ कहा नहीं है, इससे अच्छा आदमी और कौन होगा. जैसे ही आपने बोला कि सर you need to pay me and I need to run my kitchen also, and I don't know how I'm going to be able to function or how am I going to be able to work with you if that doesn't happen. You suddenly are labeled unprofessional. That's an unfortunate aspect of the industry. It's sad, but I think we are all born with that intent to preserve ourselves. There's no harm in having a skill set that helps you kind of preserve yourself and against all odds. So it's only when Sargun came into my life that I got to know that it's extremely important for me to also raise my voice, not necessarily very arrogantly, but at least respectfully and firmly for my own self as well. And that brought a volume of change to my life, spiritually, mentally, even materially for that matter. In all aspects, there was a lot of exponential growth, I would say. So
this is your sometimes your marriage, and I have seen the first time I saw both of you was on Khatro Ke Khiladi, in that episode that she came in the family task, and I saw how much you cared. And I genuinely want to say that I think most women look for that kind of a trait in the man that they want to be with. It's been 8 years of a fulfilling marriage with her. Today you guys are staying apart most of the times. A lot of people tell me that most of the times you are not even in the same city.
Yeah. Not in the same country. Forget about the city.
Same country, yeah. So how did you deal with it? Was there any point where it bothered you guys, the distance?
Yes, I wouldn't say it bothered me or her for that matter, but yes, I miss her terribly when she's not around. I wouldn't be wrong to say that I have extremely few friends. I don't have a lot of friends. I can happily and very clearly say that I think that kind of happens with age also. a lot of the equations, a lot of friends become acquaintances, a lot of acquaintances get filtered out, and then you're left with a bare minimum of people. So my friends are literally my family, apart from a few others. And the only one person that I'm, as bare as I am with myself would be Sargun. I mean, she is the only person in the world that knows me inside out, other than my own self. So my whole life is, it becomes a little. There's definitely a lot of vacuum when she's not around. No matter how busy I may be at work, but I'm always missing her. But having said that, we totally recognize the importance of this distance. It's a very, very small price to pay for the various, the various developments that are happening in our life right now. This is the point of time where we can do it. Maybe subsequently at a later stage in our life, we may not have that kind of bandwidth. We may be in extreme and dire requirement of each other's company. So if we have to enjoy that time together, this is a small price to pay for that time. So even this distance, I look at it with immense and infinite gratitude.
You said that you're very limited friends. You said that you are very limited friends, which is true. But there's also somebody I spoke to, Nia, your co-star. She laughed off when we asked her about an equation with you. She said that apparently you guys' friendship started with a fight. Am I right?
Yeah, massive. You're absolutely right.
Was it difficult that time when you were fighting? How did it change from fight to friendship?
I don't know. I think it's just by the virtue of working together for all these years, and both me and Nia, we handled that gray area in our relationship with a lot of grace and a lot of professionalism. It never showed on screen that we weren't necessarily talking to each other. I think it was largely to do with how we would approach work. I'm highly rehearsal obsessed. But Nia is a very spontaneous actor, and that works in her favor beautifully. So I think, I don't know how that friction truly started. I don't have a clear memory of it, but I'm guessing this would be the reason. But now I think Nia is one person in the industry that I'm the fondest of, and I think she has this candid, uninhibited nature, which is very rare. People are mostly kind of, they try to project something which people can. Which is a more likable version of themselves. Nia के बारे में सबसे अच्छी बात जो है वो ये है that she doesn't care, and she's truly rare in that nature. So I really appreciate her for that, and we're great friends now.
Finally, what else is there in the pipeline, like in the production or in acting or anything that you're planning to do in the next few months to come?
There are a lot of things, and there are a lot of things. In fact, there's something that I'm extremely excited about, that I'm certain that we'll be speaking to each other in the next fortnight. Right now, I don't really have a thumbs up from the platform to really kind of go ahead and talk about it. But I can tell you one thing, that, I've always been excited when I've got the opportunity to push the envelope. Now, one has had फिल्मोग्राफी तो नहीं कह सकते, टेलीविजन का ही हिस्सा रहा हूँ मैं ज़्यादातर, बट जो भी काम किया है उसमें ढेर सारे प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं, मगर मैं कुछ प्रोजेक्ट्स जो है मुझे वो हमेशा याद रहते हैं कि जिसमें मुझे मौका मिला टू ट्रूली पुश द एनवेलप, टू ट्रूली काइंड ऑफ बिकम hone my craft, to become a better artist, maybe to become a better professional, to touch a new level of hard work also in my life. But in the non-fiction domain, I would say that I may have done a Saregama, a Khatro Ki Khiladi, that entertainment ki raat, Jamin, Sabse Smart Con, everything. But I haven't quite done anything like Rising Star. So Rising Star was one show because it was a live show. It gave me the opportunity to push the envelope. In the fiction space also, in the last 16 years, I've done many shows. But I haven't quite done something like this. This is the one that I said that I'm excited about, because it really made me kind of push the envelope, and I'm waiting for the world to see it.
Even I'm waiting to see it, and I'll hopefully talk to you in a fortnight, like you said. I'm going to text you. But thank you, Ravi. You've always been a really, really kind person. You might not have an individual opinion on yourself, but I might tell you from a very different perspective that you have been one of the you didn't even know me when you were so nice to me. So that's what makes all the difference.
No, like
for me.
attracts
And-
like, brother. Like
Yeah.
attracts like always, Nayan. So
And
you
all the
can
best and see you super soon.
Thanks.
Just jaldi jaake jaldi वापस आ जाओ.
100%. You take care. Take care. Such a pleasure talking to you.